The UFO, Mystique, and my sexy succubus sister, Astarota, are very much entwined with one another. But then, Astarota is said to be the spirit of UFO, Media Machine, America. She is a chaos magic art model, muse, who, alongside with myself and other infernal ghost girl nymphs of Hecate, haunt the haunted art studio of my sorcerer, artiste, Faustus Crow. Astarota often manifests amidst the triangle of art imagination of my crow, looking like a Hollywood Babylon, Marilyn Monroe, riding a bat-winged dragon. Somewhat like the Jane Fonda, Barbarella comic strip character called Tana, riding a pterodactyl, as featured in the American science fiction magazine Heavy Metal. Due to America's heavily financed Battlestar Galactica status, its controlled mass media machine of Astarota-ridden Hollywood has branded the UFO phenomenon as its own. The B-movie branding occurred after the very dodgy 1947 Roswell crash of an exotic technology, which was initially described as a flying saucer. This occurred at the onset of the Cold War with Soviet Russia and in turn Dragon China. Now, any close encounters with the otherworldly, which is often construed as being UFO-related, becomes inextricably linked with the Hollywood-spun extraterrestrial hypothesis. One such haunted art studio example is the case of Peter Khoury. Khoury claims he experienced being abducted by two super-hot female aliens who attempted to ride his love muscle. One of the succubi looked like a sexy sexagram, blonde-haired Nordic woman, while the other succubus was a Chinese-looking Asian girl having a figure-8 body shape. The dark brown-skinned Asian-looking girl seemed to have almost completely black eyes, like those of Athena's owl. Her hair was black and cut into a fashionable page boy hairstyle. Although no normal vocal communication occurred between them, the Nordic woman seemed to be in charge. Khoury had the impression the Nordic woman was giving the Asian-looking girl some sort of tantric Kama Sutra instruction. But to be more accurate, it was not really an abduction, more like an interdimensional seduction, which of a very close Maya Matrix encounter left behind intimate biological evidence. The evidence manifested as an apport from out of the informational realms of an erotic lucid dream, whose DNA became the subject of the world's first DNA, PCR, alien abduction-related investigation, yielding intriguing results. Perhaps we should listen to what Peter Khoury has to say, in his own words, about his most intimate succubus encounter he experienced of a false awakening when he arose from his bed to find a bedroom invading, naked Nordic-looking woman and her equally naked Asian sister sitting on his bed. As for his wife, who is named Vivian, she was not around to awaken him from his vividly real, erotic lucid dream.
what happened in 1992 was something you don't expect. And I've never had an experience or heard of experiences that have happened during the day. And this is 7:15 in the morning. I'm lying there and I feel like something jumped on the bed like a cat. As I sit up, I see sitting, straddling me, a naked blonde female, and sitting on the corner of the bed. So say I'm lying here on the bed, she's straddling me there, and right on the corner here is another female. The one that was sitting on top of me was blonde, very milky white skin, very, very attractive, but at the same time, longer face, a long nose, but it wasn't a big nose again, it was just like, it fitted their features very well, larger eyes, very well proportioned, I mean, I've got to say, and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on here? How did you get in here? And as I'm thinking this, I sit up, and as I sit up, she's cupped the back of my head with both her hands and pulled me to her breast, left breast, and pushed my face into it. My defense mechanism, whatever you want to call it, and it's so out of thing with me, I took a little bite, a nip, and I felt flesh, in my mouth. I didn't taste blood or anything, but I felt this bit of flesh in my mouth. I thought it was a bit of a nipple maybe. And as it hit the back of my throat, it was like you poured acid down the back of my throat, just this really bad chemical reaction. I started coughing, very heavy coughing, and as I've looked down and coughed, I've looked up and I saw them looking at each other, and I picked up what they were saying. They weren't speaking, but it was telepathic communication again. It was, he's done this wrong, something's gone wrong, this isn't the way it's supposed to be, he's done this wrong. And I'm like, what the heck, what are you going on about? I could pick on it, I could hear it. I had an erection for like 6 hours afterwards, and it was pretty painful. And under my foreskin I found 2 hairs. One was like an S shape, almost curled, and the other one was sort of not up, it was just wrapped around, embedded in though, like if you push your nail into, you get a little bit of a mark. That's what they were embedded. I could see that they weren't on the surface. And as I tried to take them off, peel them off, it was total agony. And so I knew it had to be from them.
By 1998, an investigation into the hair sample began when scientists eventually agreed to investigate its genetic makeup. They could just about bring themselves around to conduct the investigation, but only because of the numerous reports of close encounters with extraterrestrial aliens since 1947. No doubt, the scientists believed they would be able to disprove Khoury's claim of being abducted by sexy female aliens, looking like infernal elfin nymphs of Hecate. However, if the scientists were otherwise told the hair sample was a manifested apport from out of the Lovecraft fairy realms of the Necronomic and Dreamlands, they would not have bothered.
I was bombarded with phone calls from the scientists. Come to our house, took hair samples from me, hair samples from Vivian, blood from me. So it was starting to get like a forensic investigation. What they found was, the analysis confirmed the hair came from someone who was biologically close to normal human genetics, but of an unusual racial type, a rare Chinese Mongoloid type, one of the rarest human lineages known, that lies further from the human mainstream than any other except for African pygmies and aborigines. There was a strange anomaly of it being blonde to clear instead of black, as it would be expected from the Asian type mitochondrial DNA. The study concluded the most probable donor therefore must be, as Khoury claims, a tall blonde female who does not need much colour in her hair or skin as a form of protection against the sun, perhaps because she doesn't require it.
Although the blonde hair sample had come from a pale-skinned Nordic succubus, it instead revealed 5 distinctive DNA markers which are characteristic of a rare subgroup of the Chinese Mongoloid racial type. A detailed survey of the literature on variations in mitochondrial DNA, comprising tens of thousands of samples, showed only 4 other people on record with all 5 of the distinctive markers discovered in the blonde hair sample. All 4 were brown-skinned Chinese, having black hair. The scientists concluded that the DNA of the hair sample looked to be engineered. What they discovered pointed at an advanced cloning technique being used, since the nuclear DNA revealed a CCR5 dilution factor, which of a bizarre property indicated the Nordic-looking succubus is impervious to deadly viruses.
Look, I think the DNA went a long way to helping people believe. Hopefully with a polygraph to back it, people can then sit back and say, well, if the guy's not lying, there's got to be something there, you know, and if there's something there, and if it's 5% of all the reports around the world, if 5% of those reports are legitimate and mine is part of that, then geez, we've got a phenomena we need to look at.
The Chinese Mongoloid racial type points at a genetic locale in the Altai and Lake Baikal region of southern Siberia. The far northerly realm of Siberia does not see much of the sun. The ancient Greeks saw Siberia as their legendary land of Hyperborea, from where the deities Apollo and Artemis are said to have originated from. There are other legends surrounding the locale in question, such as the infernal underground city of Agartha, wherein the antediluvian survivors of a prehistoric catastrophe reside. The Younger Dryas impact of a devastating global catastrophe was caused by a Perseus comet striking the Earth from out of the exterior cosmos. The resulting impact destroyed the highly advanced technological civilization of the Titans. The Titan survivors survived in their underground city of Agartha for thousands of years before the Earth started to once again heal from her wound, which birthed Hecate, who sought to remind the descendants of those survivors surviving above ground about their Titan legacy. Somewhat difficult to do, considering Hecate's technology is presently many thousands of years in advance than their own. Is anything I have said true? Who's to say, at the end of the night, I am a chaos magic art muse, inspiring microcosmic ideas, which manifest as surrealist macrocosmic art. Perhaps Khoury's 1992 Succubus visitation was a precognition of the 2003 American science fiction television series Battlestar Galactica. If so, one of the Battlestar Galactica succubi manifested as the blonde-haired actress Tricia Helfer, who played the part of a number 6 Cylon, while the other succubus appeared as the sexy Korean actress Grace Park, who played the part of a number 8 Cylon. As for the apport of a bilocated, blonde, pubic hair, it would indicate the genetic composition of the Babylon Hollywood actress Tricia Helfer is of Silicon Valley interest to transhumanist, artificial intelligence-driven eugenics. Anyway, it appears Astarota has assumed the sensuous form of the Battlestar Galactica actress Katie Sackhoff, who has flown off with my succubus sister, Beliala. The sexy infernal nymphs of Hecate are presently Sabbath visiting the erotic lucid dreams of my Faustus crow. Beliala sometimes manifests as two succubi looking like Trisha Helfer and Grace Park, who pilot a fiery Vulcan Vimana shaped like a flying triangle, whereas Astarota prefers to witch ride the flying saucer, although this time around, of a witching hour, she's riding a tic-tac Colonial Viper Mark 7 as her Battlestar Galactica dragon. In the future, the males are all extinct due to the present chemical poisoning of the environment by the billionaire-owned corporations. The time-traveling Queen Bee Cylon clones need your seed for genetic experiments so they can heal the future. Your clone sisters need more worker bees. Give generously, my Faustus crow. The Cylon hive desperately needs your ejaculated seed. My name is Mephistophina. I am a succubus. Fuck me now, my Faustus crow. All my succubus sisters want to fuck you too. My name is Mephistophina. I am a succubus. Fuck me now, my Faustus crow. All my succubus sisters want to fuck you too. My name is Mephistophina. I am a succubus.